In this video, we're going to explain where you should have your racket in the midcourt, give you some tips on how to make sure you can keep it there, and most importantly, teach you how to dominate the midcourt from this position.
This is actually my favourite video we've prepared on the channel so far, so I'm really excited for you to watch the next few minutes and gain some badminton insight. So let's get straight into it. Now we see so many players with their rackets nearly touching the ground whilst waiting for a shot in the midcourt. You might not think this is you, but honestly, just record yourself and it might surprise you. From a low down position, it takes more time to get your racket to the shuttle because you have to lift your racket up and then play your shot, rather than just already being there. And there's no reason to not be in this position when your opponents are playing the shuttle from below the height of the net, as they obviously can't play a downward shot. Now, being in a higher position and also a neutral grip will allow you to improve your shots in many ways, which we'll explain during the rest of this video. And this is honestly one huge difference between beginner to intermediate players and intermediate players to advanced players.
Yes, it is. So first, we're going to try and get you used to keeping your racket up in the midcourt. So wherever you're watching this from, take your racket arm and bring it directly out in front of you, and then bend it a little bit so that it's comfortable, and then keep it here. And we're doing this without a racket so you get used to the feeling. Now keep it there for 10 more seconds. Whilst you're there, point your finger out and press the like button at the bottom of the video. And then you should still have another 7 seconds, so go down and press the subscribe button if you haven't already. Training and helping the channel in under 10 seconds. Now let's get back to the video.
And you can lower your arm down now. But seriously, constantly having your arm out in front of you and in this ready position can help you so much. I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but Chris Adcock once said to me, imagine your arm is over shark-infested water and you can't drop it, otherwise you'll lose your arm and your racket. Very random, I know, but sometimes silly things like this can actually really help to act as a reminder. It's certainly stuck with me, especially when it's come from one of the best midcourt players in the world.
Now, how exactly is having your racket up in this position going to help your game? Well, as we said earlier, it's going to take less time to get to the shuttle from the starting position, so you're therefore earlier to your shot. And being earlier to the shot opens you up to many different possibilities. Firstly, being in a good position like this is more likely to intimidate your opponents because they know you're able to play a downward shot, so they'll more likely move backwards. And this creates space for a soft shot in front of them. This soft shot can either be a winner or force a weak reply. And secondly, as well as playing this soft shot, you're able to play many other shots much more effectively, such as a drive that actually goes downwards, a cross-court soft shot or drive because you've allowed yourself room to play this, and finally, you can also play more effective over-the-top shots because your opponent has less time to react.
The last benefit of having your racket in this early position is that you'll be more comfortable when playing the shot. You won't be tucked up like this, as you're not wasting the preparation time bringing the racket up from your ankles or even switching grips if you're in an extreme forehand or backhand grip like this. Being in an early and comfortable position will help you to master the soft touch and control part of the midcourt. This is really important for either making your opponents move right to the net and setting yourself up for a short lift, or it can be an outright winner. To maximise your touch and control in the midcourt, it's really important to have a nice relaxed grip. If you have a tense grip, then you'll lose control and be more likely to make a mistake or play a bad quality shot. You also really want to feel the shuttle onto your strings. And by this, I mean you almost want to have the shuttle on your strings for as long as possible, guiding it over the net. This sounds strange, but give it a go when you're next practicing.
There's also an art to moving really fast, but keeping your arm nice and relaxed to be able to play with control. Naturally, when you're trying to move really fast, your body tenses up, so you need to practice this. And you can do this by either having this as a focus area during a game, or in a simple practice like this. Here you can see Greg is focusing on moving fast, whilst always playing soft controlled shots back to me as the feeder. We've said this before on the channel, but this is one of Greg's favourite routines to do just before a match. Notice how his racket is always up and ready before I hit my shot, and also notice how he's stepping in with his racket leg for each and every shot and keeping his upper body nice and relaxed.
These soft shots can honestly be so effective, especially when you're early to the shuttle and can spot gaps in the court. It's definitely a skill that's not used enough at all levels of the game. If you can't get your technique right in the rally or feel yourself tensing up a lot of the time, then try practicing one shot at a time and work on your soft controlled shots to different positions on the court. And remember, these shots can all be done much easier once you get that racket up and a bit higher and out in front of you. And of course, we'll never say this is how you have to do something, because there'll always be people like Kevin Sukamojo who can have their rackets by the ankles most of the time. But remember, to do this effectively, you have to have the racket speed of Kevin to go from low down to high up in a matter of milliseconds, which we can tell you isn't easy.
And of course, you can lower your racket down from this position when you go into defence, but we're talking about being above the tape in the mid-court here. And as we mentioned in our How to Read the Game video, you also need to practice noticing where your opponent is hitting their shot from, and then get used to adjusting your racket position so you're ready for this likely shot. You can therefore take the shuttle earlier. If you haven't checked that video out yet, we'd highly recommend watching it, so just click this video over here. Or if you want to perfect your backhand drive, then click this video over here. And if you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give it a like, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on another video.